Chapter 11, Nikki Marshall. The racket the rowdy boys are making is enough to wake the dead, or at least attract unwanted attention from the demons. It's been hours since our last sighting, but that doesn't mean they aren't still around. Glancing down at the book in my lap and the pen in my hand, I try to go back to concentrating on what words I want to write. I haven't gotten a single word written down. Frustrated with my writer's block, I shut the book and put it and my pen back into my purse. Feet walk into my view. Peter sits down beside me. "We should go now. I don't want to be defenseless when they come back for us," he says in a hushed voice. I know immediately what he's talking about, so I nod. Everyone's off doing their own thing. They won't miss us. Again, I nod. We get up from the floor. The gate is right across from our spot in the aisle. We need someone to lock the gate for us. The perfect person walks by at just the right moment. A wonderful coincidence. "Canna," I whisper, yelling just loud enough for her to hear. Her head whips around in my direction. Walking towards her, I say, "Lock the gate behind us. We're just going to the army store." She looks blank for a moment before she nods and walks us to the gate. Following her, I stop, remembering I don't want to go without some sort of weapon. I go back to the aisle and grab the broomstick. Peter opens the gate, careful not to make much noise. He slips through, then waits outside for me. I pass him the stick and slide through the opening. Kiana takes care to shut and lock the gate quietly. I take the broom back from Peter. We look into the halls for any sign of a demon. Nothing. It seems clear. The dim light helps a little. There are many shadowed areas which we are blind to. I set a quick pace down the hall and to the set of escalators turned into stairs. Peter goes in front and looks up and ahead as he reaches the top. So far, so good. He goes to the wall in front of us and checks around the corner. Something tells me he might have some sort of combat experience. Maybe he's a soldier or a policeman, or maybe he just plays paintball on the weekends. The hall is clear again. It's not far to the store. The gate is unlocked but closed. I'm a little hesitant about going inside. Peter opens the gate enough so that we can get inside by only ducking. I grab at my cell and turn the flashlight on. This store has most of what I want in the back. I shine my light wherever I can, but it all looks clear. This may be easier than I thought. Peter goes behind the counter and goes for the pocket knives in the glass cabinet. I hope he has some sense to grab durable ones, not decorative ones. I walk towards the back, shining my light as I go. An angry face appears in my light. Gary rushes towards me with a blade in his hand. I scream a little and drop my phone. The blade is at my throat before I think of saying his name to stop him. "Gary!" In the pitch black, I can only wait. It's a good sign at least my throat hasn't been slit. If he had wanted to kill me, he would have done so before I had a chance to scream. This wasn't a kill attempt, but one to immobilize me. It takes a moment, but the blade is removed. My phone is picked up and the light is directed to the ceiling. "Oh, sorry about that. Can't be too careful," Gary huffs. His hand goes to my throat, examining it, and I can feel something wet slowly trail down my chest. I wipe it away and rub the blood against my pants. "It's not that bad. You'll live." "What are you doing here? Where are your parents?" I feel instantly chastised. Peter comes rushing down the aisle. "Are you all right?" he says. "Yeah, Gary, this is Peter. Peter, this is Gary." I point as I say each name. "Is anyone else with you?" Gary motions to the back of his head. "Judy's out back with the group. We were opening the store when we heard screaming. We ran a few people in here before shutting down." "What were you doing here so early?" "Just came to walk the mall before shopping. We ran into the dollar store when everything happened. We've got a group there. My friends, his family. Came in here to grab some weapons," I tell him. "Do you want to come back with us? We have plenty of food, water, everything we would need to last a while." Gary doesn't waste a moment before taking me up on it. "Yes, thank you. We've already run out of food. Only had one granola bar between us all." He chuckles to himself. Turning around, he goes into the back room to reappear moments later with a large group of people. The only thing I can think of is that Brad is not going to like this. Gary gives instructions to the group to grab anything they can carry. People quickly gather their items, mostly already decked out in armor. I go for a samurai sword on the wall. The price is more on the expensive side, so I think it's safe to say it's not a cast sword. Gary is too busy to ask. Walking around the outside aisle, I go through the armor. Finding a small woman's vest, I pull it off the hanger. The thick material should help protect me, at least a little bit more than my clothes. I try it on and zip it up. Picking the sword back up, I make my way to Peter at the front of the store. There are a few people that have collected there. Gary rounds everyone up to the front. He doesn't say anything before he leaves the store. I quicken my steps to catch up with him. Peter is right behind me. I take the lead only slightly in front of Gary. Kiana looks happy to see us. She opens the gate loudly. There's no use in hiding or sneaking back in with all these extra people. We make it inside the gates when Brad comes down from an aisle and furiously yells, "What the fuck are you doing? Shut the gate!" Kiana, in the middle of doing so already, quickens her pace and locks it shut. "Who the hell are all these people? Who told you could leave? Do you know the danger you put us all in?" His string of questions keeps coming, his voice getting louder and angrier by the moment. The commotion draws out everyone from the aisles. "Would you shut up? What's putting us in danger now is how loud you're yelling right now. The only people we put in danger were ourselves, and there wasn't anything out there anyway." I scream at him louder than his volume had been. Walking up to him, I stop just about a foot away, hoping the gesture would intimidate him into backing down. He closes the gap more. "I can't have people coming and going as they wish. Every time you open up the gate, you put us all at risk." "At risk of what? You saw the damage out there. If anything wants to get inside, I don't think a locked gate is going to stop it, especially with all this glass around the gate. It's nothing to break that and get inside." Maybe some logic will get through to him. "You're not going to be happy until you've killed us all, are you?" he shouts. "I could say the same to you. You can't imprison us here and just expect us to be safe," I shout louder. "Listen!" His voice rises slightly. I yell as loud as I can at him. "No, you listen. For the small risk that someone might see us, I brought back weapons, armor, and some people. What have you done in the last half hour? Ate candy and played some games? We can't stay here forever. We'll need to leave at some point to find our families and find out what happened." He goes silent at my words. He searches for something to say back, but can't find the words. "Look, this yelling isn't getting us anywhere." Gary inserts himself between Brad and me, forcing us to back away from each other. "On behalf of my group, I would like to thank you for giving us a chance to survive. However, this yelling and lashing out because you're scared isn't going to work. What's done is done. Now leave it alone." Gary speaks firm with authority. A silent threat seems to be in the background. Brad glares from me to Gary. Abruptly, he shakes his head and storms off. He's just mad because he's scared. He'll calm down. When I look back at Gary, he nods to me. I nod back to him in response. "Is there somewhere we can put this stuff down?" It takes a moment of me staring blankly at him before his question processes thoroughly. "Yes, I look around me, searching for the best place. The back room is small and dark. We vacated that in favor of more room. Down aisle 5, if you go down a bit, you can't see anything from the front," I think aloud. Gary takes this as my answer and instructs everyone to go halfway down the aisle. Peter goes to his family, picking up his son and hugging him. His wife glares at him for a moment of scolding before turning affectionate. Sean has disappeared, probably followed right after Brad. Steph stands watching me and the action going on around me. She looks back and forth between us and where Brad and Sean had presumably gone. Hesitating for a moment about what to do, she then goes down the aisle after their duo. Needing to do something other than just stand here, I decide to go to the gate, looking either way to see if there's any movement out there. Maybe it was a bit stupid to go out there. Suppose something had noticed us and decided to attack. What would Peter and I have done about it? Even our way back with Gary, none of us would have been able to do much. Those things are stronger and faster than us. They have pre-attached weapons in their claws and teeth. Something touches my shoulder. I jump half in fright, half in surprise. "Sorry," Gary says. He comes up beside me to look where I was. "Don't worry about him. He'll come around. I've seen fear do a lot worse to people." It makes sense, so I nod to him. We stand for a couple moments in silence just to listen. Noises from behind us quieten down a lot. "We need to get back out there," I say. "Good. We'll let your friend calm down a bit, though. Wait a few hours to start a scouting mission. Come away from the gate now. We'll relax, eat, bring up the mood, prep for any emergencies, rest, and worry about tomorrow when it comes." Gary lays out a plan. "Okay," I say quietly. "Your mom and dad, they weren't with you?" "No, they would have been on their way to work when things happened. We saw a dragon on our way here. I crashed my car because some people in the street were going nuts. We panicked and just finished getting here. We thought the police would help, but they were useless. Hopefully they're fine. Your parents are great people, and not just because they're my best customers." Gary nudges me with his elbow. We both chuckle at his joke. One last look outside reassures me that there's no immediate danger of attacks. I lead Gary down aisle 5 and take the seat across from Peter and his family. Salt and pepper chips fall into my lap. I look up at Kiana as she turns around and sits beside me. "Thank you." I open up the bag, planning on nibbling on just a few chips for something to do. More and more people sit down, and soon we've got 2 rows of people chit-chatting back and forth about old jobs, things that they hated, and any funny stories they've got. Dipping my hand into the chip bag, my fingers come up empty. I pick it up and look inside. Nothing but crumbs are left. I put aside the disappointment that there aren't any left to focus on adding to the conversation. After a girl tells about a system they had to alert their non-working workers about any management that happened to come in unannounced, I jump in. One day, a few of us were in the back, and suddenly 2 higher-up supervisors came up behind Frank with duct tape. They taped Frank to his chair, and I think we spent the next half hour watching him try to break free. What is it with supervisors and instigating things? One girl questions. I was working out on the floor one day when I had a question about how Wyatt wanted to display the look. I walked around the whole store and couldn't find him. Went to the office and he still wasn't there. I listened for a minute and I heard him talking to another worker. I went to the back of the warehouse and found out that Wyatt and another worker had spent the last 4 hours piecing together paper clips into a long string, and they were hanging it from the ceiling. The stories go on, but I get thirsty. Getting up, I go to the front of the store. There's a cooler full of drinks. Opening the sliding door, I feel a bit of cool air. Grabbing 4 Cokes, I decide now is as good a time as any to see if I can get peace talks going. I walk down the aisle to the back. They probably cornered themselves in the staff room, so I head there first. Turning on my flashlight, I light up the darkness. The staff room door is open and no one is in there. Where would they have gone? We're walking around the other side of the shelves. I go to the back door. It's locked. I go back into the store by the closest door. I leave it open, shutting off my flashlight. The group of rowdy people have gone quiet. They look at me and I can see why. Brad, Steph, and Sean came and sat over. We must have missed each other by mere seconds. The closer I get, the silence becomes more and more awkward, probably because of me. The best thing I can do is just keep walking. I stop by the trio, hand out the Cokes, and keep walking until I sit back down beside Kiana. It seems to be enough to break the ice. People go back into their chatter. I look over to Brad, staring back at me. Opening my pop, I do an air cheers in his direction. He returns it with a sheepish smile. We're good.